Goodness gracious. All right, folks. We're going to try to get through this. We're going to start with some finds we found the last few nights. My favorite one is this one. Can you go in the living room, please? The 1989 S proof penny. This was not intended for circulation. I believe these are just made in mint sets. Someone sold it or dumped it or something. In mint state, perfect condition, these are $10, $11, something like that. Maybe $12, I don't know. Found a couple of wheaties, a 46 Denver wheatie. Sweet find. A second wheatie, 1956 out of Denver. We found a 1969 Denver no FG or weak FG. I think this actually also has a floating roof on it. I didn't even think about looking for that. Check it out, the floating roof. Heck yeah, and then the no FG. And we actually found a second one, 1969 Denver no FG. This one was, I don't know, I guess similar shape, but I don't think this one has the floating roof. No, it's weak, but it's there, much clearer. And then the no FG down there. So a couple sweet finds. Nothing super rare, but nonetheless, really awesome to be finding. Hopefully the YouTubes is getting back in commission after last night's outage. I'm going to start with opening up a roll here. See what we can find. Hoping for some wheaties. Found 2 in the box so far. I'm about halfway through the box or so. Hoping to find wheaties first and foremost. Proofs, if I can find them, I'll take those. And then we're going to be referencing ngccoin.com for varieties and errors. Looking for lots of doubling on things, stuff like that. So I do have it open off to the side here. I don't have all of these memorized yet, so you'll have to bear with me on some of these. I'll just be referencing some of them. So 76 Philly, nothing to look for on there. 84 Philly, we're looking for the doubled ear. So we'd have like a extra ear to the left and the bottom here. I believe it also states doubling in the tie and beard as well. Now those are a lot harder to look for. I just usually look at the ear. But the beard area, I suppose if it was really bad, doubled, you would be able to definitely see it. And then we also have a 1984 Philly DDO Liberty and the date. And the example on ngccoin.com also shows doubling in God We Trust, so we'll also check that out. Don't see a whole lot there. Look for doubling up top. Nothing there. Let's keep going. 2001 Denver, nothing to check there. We're just going through bank rolls. You guys can find these in your pocket change. 82 large date in Denver. We're looking for the 82 small date Denver to weigh them, see if we can find something. We're actually going to start weighing all of our 1983s as well. Speaking of which, I got a Maxis scale, cheap on Amazon. I got a link in my profile for this. It's like, I think it's under $10. 2.5. No copper there. 75 Denver. If we could find an off-center error, that'd be sweet as well. I find them very minor in circulation, like the rim is barely even off. 23 Denver. I'm looking for a Philly. 85, nothing there. I don't have time to weigh every single coin. Oh, here's an 88. We're looking for the reverse of 89. It doesn't matter if it's a Denver or Philly. We're looking at the FG initials there. And I always got to read the description for this because I can never remember how they word it. The letter G in the designer's initials has a vertical stroke that projects downward below the letter's curved bottom. So right here, your G would have a little hook down here that'd be lower than that part of the G. 88, reverse of 89. Yes, sir, Calvin. We are roll searching. We got a box of $25 of pennies from the bank. And we're just going through and we're looking for what we can find. Primarily wheaties, but I'll take anything. I'm just happy to go through these. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you. Shield Sands. We got some newer stuff. We got some older stuff. You just never know. Got some, hopefully that's not blood on it, but 2015, we're looking for a double die obverse. 2015 Philly specifically. Just pull that one up real quick like. DDO VP001, we're looking at Liberty and a date and lesser doubling on In God We Trust. I pointed this out on most of the other chats. This is just like a lamination. You see the line on top, line on top, line on top. It's just like a lamination thing, pretty sure. If I'm incorrect, I've returned a lot of coinage to the bank, but oh well, there's always more coins. Same thing with that right side of the 5. Mostly doubling. We're going to see like lines through the actual erased part of the coin. The curves are real good spots to see the doubling over here in the 2. 97, 1 year away from the 98 wide AM. '82 large date, Philly. I used to struggle until I really sat down and looked at all the 1982 coins. I used to struggle with hoarding them, I suppose. 1992, no matter the mint, we're looking at the A and the M in America. We're looking for the close AM. Something that has much less space than that. Basically, the A and the M would be touching. Be a good, solid find. 82 large date. No one looks copper. 95 Denver. I think it's just Phillies on these. No, it's not. 95 Denver. DDO FS 103. In God We Trust. Liberty and the date. Got some mashed letters. Check out Liberty. This looks a little suspicious here, but that's probably that lamination stuff again. There's no lines in the B here. No lines in the R. Check out the date. Nada. 2019 Philly. Looking for the DDO VP001. Just the date. Look for a thick date. That is not a thick date. The 0 looks really skinny. The 9 looks a little fat, but the example I'm looking up, everything looks kind of chunky. Oh, a 62. What do we got on the 62? I feel like these older years, there's a ton of things to look for. 61, nothing on the 62, except for a big old gaping wound in his cheek there. Gouge or corrosion or pitting or something. $99, we're looking for the Phillies in 99, looking for the wide AM there too. $67. Oh, it's a Philly, but no, nothing there either. Crazy. Check out that one. Holy smokes. That one's had a rough life. 87. Can usually get stuff from under the scope here if I can find the darn thing. Is that an 87? Looks like an 87. It's definitely a memorial back. That thing is rough. 2004. For some reason, 2004 doesn't seem to pop up very often. But also, there's nothing. Oh, there is. 2004 Philly. DDR FS801, doubling on United States of America. And E pluribus unum. Looking for doubling. What you doing tonight, Calvin? Besides hanging out. Like a balls. Nothing there. And nothing there. 2007. We have found 2 wheaties in this box and a couple of different errors so far. It is 69D no FG. One had a floating roof. I found out tonight. I was like, heck yeah, let's do another roll. Sometimes you just fly open, sometimes I struggle hard. I get myself like a plastic screwdriver or something. Got some fat rims, got some copper in the roll. We found, I don't know, eight Canadians. A few different S-mint marks. We had one proof from 1989, I believe. It was a proof cent. 2009, I still save these ones. 2009 Denver doesn't have the error. But a Philly, we're looking for some errors on those. '80 Denver. For some reason, this one always rings a bell. But it's always the '80 Philly that we're looking for, not the Denver. '84, looking for the doubled ear, doubled beard, doubled tie, and a DDO. I always start with the ear because that's the first one I learned about. This one's got a huge scratch in it. Check out his beard. Check out his tie. Pretty worn out. This thing just like kissed the ground for a good week. Spent a lot of time in the dirt or on the ground, on the sidewalk. Oh, sorry. Check out Liberty. Check out the date. Well, one thing it has a lot of is scratches, that's for sure. 2015 Philly, looking for DDO. Lots of mashed letters. I better just double check. 2015, yep, just the DDO. Okay. 87 Philadelphia. There's 87 Denvers. Nothing in the Philadelphia. Besides some cool directional graining on that one. 82, large date out of Denver. 74 Denver. Not a whole lot in the 70s, to be honest. Now that I said that. No, there's 70, 71, 72, and then jumps up to 1980, so nothing in between those years. That I'm aware of, anyway. You guys know of something that I should be looking for? Please let me know. 72 Denver DDO. There's a couple different DDOs on these. There is 72 Denver, doubling visible in all lettering and the date. So just check everything. Mark everything. So I have ngccoin.com open on the side here. This is the quickest way I've found. Well, that kind of looks like doubling, but it looks like a mash line. ngccoin.com, the varieties plus. It's all online, it's all free. And you can search by US coins and then denomination and then the design years. And you can just pop it open and go through your stuff like a happy cat. Another option, you can get the Cherry Picker's Guide. I have volume 2. I didn't realize these came in 2 volumes, so I just ordered volume 1 today. It comes in 2 books. This one's half dimes, 20-cent pieces, $quarter. The other one is half cents, cents. I don't know if I made it 2 cent, and then it goes up to nickels or something. 88. We're looking for the reverse of 89. Check out the FG. If the right side of the G extends lower than the bottom of the G, like a serif down there, then that's the one we're looking for. DW Cat, sorted pennies. You got an 1835 penny. Like Coronet Liberty Head, large cent. Is that what you're referencing? Or you have 1835 pennies? Okay, 2019, we have a DDO. We're looking at the date for fatness or thickness or overeating. I feel like all those 9s are a little bit fat, but this, okay, 1935. There we go. Nice. It's a good find. 2020 Denver. 1935, depending on the mint, they did 245 million, 47 million, or 38 million. P, D, and S in that order. Yeah, I feel ya. iPads are tough to type on for sure. So the 72, we're looking for a DDO on the filly. Oh man, we're looking for all kinds of stuff. Okay, double die obverse. We're going to look at all the lettering on the front. And there's 9 different double die obverses we can look for in this one. But just to keep it easy, find a 72 filly, look at all of the letters. And the date, of course. Nothing there. You know, sometimes these edges get me a little bit. But this edge and this top corner, they just look like they're just got some damage to them. 1892 coin dollar, says DW Cat. Nice. Sounds like a good one. 60. We're not done with this. Let's look at this. Let's finish up the 72. I'm getting a little distracted here. So a lot of DDOs. 72 DDOs. Yes, all DDOs. There's 9 of them. Okay. 1964. Philly. DDR, FS 801 and 802, so it's going to be the reverse. And we're looking for very strong doubling, United States of America and E pluribus unum. And I guess we're going to look at the FG as well on the FS 802. Got some damage across the S and T there. No wheaties tonight yet. No, we're in our second roll. I'm expecting to find at least 2 more wheaties in this box. I usually get, I don't know, between 5 and 10 on the very high side. Wheaties. Nope, I don't see any doubling in that. It looks kind of goofy though. Looks super goofy. What's up, Sean D? No, we just started. We're 22 minutes in. Nothing so far tonight. Bunch to check, but nothing super interesting quite yet. There's a 70 out of Denver. No. Seems like they're all S mints in the 70s. Small date, large date, all that good stuff. 2014. I gotta get through some of these coins. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Unless I find the big one. Maybe if I find like a $10,000 coin, I'll call in sick tomorrow. Don't tell my boss. 1980 Philly. Looking at Liberty and the date on the obverse. I don't see how you could realistically see anything on here. It is nasty. That is nasty. $18.55 braided cent in VF condition. That's a sweet one there, Calvin. I don't know how much that's worth. What's it worth? What does it book for? These 70s, they're good for really deep stamps or punches or mints, like super raised edges, and also slightly off center. You can see that left side looks like it's a little bit off center there. 91 out of Denver. Let's get through the rest of this sucker, huh? Last year, Memorial of 2008. Oh, 92. We're going to look for the cam. 92 cam. Nope. So the A and the M on a 92. Denver's, Phillies don't matter. Look at the A and the M in America on the reverse. If they're touching, you got the 92 cam. Close AM. 72D. We got a DDO. Gotta look for. I do not pull copper, Calvin. I used to pull copper. I have a ton of it. Damage. I just don't have anything to do with it. Like, you pull it, and then what do you do with it? I talk to many people. They don't want to buy it. They're just like, you got to pull it. So I stopped pulling copper. I did not feel like it was worth my time. If you find a buyer for me, I definitely will pull my copper. But other than that, I don't have enough room to store it. I just like to go through them and pull the few that I like to pull, the S-mints, the foreigns, the 2009s, and then any errors I can pull out of them. And then I like to bring back to the bank because guess what? I want to get some more. $2,000 Denver. Yeah, I mean, if they're nice, I'll set them off to the side. I'll put them in a cardboard flip or something. 80 Philly. Like, you look at enough coins, you can tell, like, oh yeah, this is a super nice one, or this one's trash. They kind of got to pop out at me and make me go, whoa. Speaking of 2009s, here's a 2009. I pull these. They're not worth anything. There is some errors you can look for on some of these, but they're the Lincoln commemorative. There's 4 different designs of the 2009s. Check the 09, like these 09s, Calvin. Is this what you're talking about? Check it on the scale. $2.5. All right. Well, I learned something new. Appreciate it, Calvin. I just pull these. I like the designs on them. And then also there is some errors you can look for. So this one, 2009 Professional Life Philly. We're looking at these at the top of the building here. We're looking for an extra duplicated columns on the left side of this cupola. So there'd be like another column in there. 76 out of Denver. No, silver turkey. Same reason I don't save my copper. The 2017 P's. I know it's the only year that they put the P on the penny, but then I'd have a pile of those and I don't know what to do with them. You want to buy them? I'll start setting them off to the side. I'll make a cup that says silver turkey 7435. You can buy them off me. Are they worth anything? Are they worth saving? Should I be saving them? I'm no expert. I'm just a guy who buys coins and wants to look at them, and might as well do it live. Look at them anyway. Might as well put them on the channel. There's some copper showing on some of those, some scuff. No thank you, he says. Yeah, I haven't specifically searched it, but I haven't found a good reason to save them yet. $2,000 Denver. Let's get fired through this roll here. 81. I say that and then immediately I stop. Nothing on the 81s. 74 Denver. 91, same thing. '73. So 72 fillies. There's a double die obverse. Check out all the lettering on the obverse side, the head side. '97 out of Denver. Calvin found a Canadian coin dump. Oh, here's a 2002. I'm all distracted here between comments and looking at coins. Oh, shoot. No. I was thinking 2000. 78. 75. Lots of 70s in here. And there's not a whole lot of 70s that we're looking for. So we're going to keep on perusing. There's a 2017 D. 75. $1990. That was a good year. If you know anything about me, 1990 was a good year. Here's a 89 Denver. I just looked this up. This green stuff that we find on some of these, there's another one in here. This green nastiness. It's also 89. That is weird. Two 89s in a row. And then a 97. So this greenish, bluish stuff is called verdigris. Verdigris. Verdigris results in corrosion of copper when exposed to oxygen, moisture, and acids. So that's kind of cool. I learned something new tonight. 89, nothing there. I think this was also 89. Nice, B. Waller. Welcome back. I did see your post tonight about your penny boxes, your bank coming through for you. That's friggin' sweet. '97. Yeah, they are copper plated, but the copper is what mixes with the moisture and the oxygen and the acids. Copper rust. I don't know, something like that. B. Waller, when are you going through your pennies? You doing it this weekend? You doing it tonight? You do weekday hunts? Have to come check it out. We're just flying through. Nothing to check here. Nothing to see. 60 Denver. There's got to be something here. I guess there's large dates and small dates on these too. What the heck? We're going to look for the 60 Denver D over D. Right. Okay, we're saving the 2009. Looking at the mint mark on the 60 Denver. We're looking for a D over D. It's repunched south. I don't see anything on top of that one. Then there's a 1960 D over D small date, large date. Okay, that one would be pretty obvious. So the you basically see a little zero inside of a big zero and a slightly smaller 9 with a slightly larger 9 going around it. And also we'd see way above this mint mark, almost into the 9 here, you'd see a D right there. 2019 on a Denver. No, just Phillies we're looking for on that. Dang, you got a good banker there, B. Waller. That's unreal. My banker, I still have to convince her. She will sell me boxes, but I got to convince her. Like, I'll go through them. I'll bring them back. Don't worry. I'm not hoarding them like B. Waller. I'm just kidding. I don't care. You just hanging on to them, or are you going to go through them eventually, or are you just stocking up, dude? What is it? $2023. I'm not finding a whole lot of Phillies 2023. How about a 2004 Denver? Don't believe there's anything to see here. Nope, just Phillies. 2006. Keeping it crazy. Welcome back to the chat. Awesome to see ya. You like the dollar coins, huh? My wife, she likes the dollar coins too. Sometimes I go to the bank, bring back those sexy presidential dollars, and she'll go through them and see if she's got anything to push in her book. Well, I'll see if my bank can supply you. Keeping it crazy. 2003. All right, we got time for one more roll. One more. We gotta rapid fire this sucker. Oh, I can't even get it open now. Jeez. Yeah, my wife, she's pretty awesome. She lets me spend money on coins and then go through coins and take up my kitchen table with coins for weeks on end. And I don't think we've had a family dinner at this table for quite a while, so I think I'll probably have to put them away one of these weekends. But shout out to my wife. Unreal. She's a very good woman. 2014s. Yeah, we got a 2014 Philly to look for a double die obverse. A couple of them. We're looking for Liberty and the date doubling or extra thickness. I like some extra thickness. Let's see what we got here. Not seeing a whole lot there. Oh, I don't see any extra thickness there, that's for sure. Well, yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about, B. Waller. Shout out to the wife. I'll have to come check out your channel when you're going through your pennies and see what you're finding over there. We'll have a little competition, some healthy competition. DW Cat, your bank sent their pennies back? What kind of nonsense is that? That is the most sad thing I've heard. $77. A couple of my buddies, they can't get boxes of pennies just 20 minutes down the road. And then like the gas stations, they're like, oh, we're rounding up or down or whatever. We don't do pennies, but they'll still give you pennies in your change. Oh, that works. 1983, this was a 2.5 grammer. 2013. '83 Philly. There's a bunch of errors on this one too. I'm gonna weigh it while I'm looking up these. '83 Philly. There's all kinds of DDOs, counter clash, reverse die breaks, double die reverse. You basically gotta look this thing over with a scope, much like the one you see in the background. 2000. That was a Denver. You don't do Denver whams, do you? I do. 2000. Did I throw a Philly in the bucket? It's very possible. I'm not going to say that is totally out of the scope of possibilities. See doubling there. We're gonna look for the DDR. This is very clearly not a. Are you kidding me? You've seen DUNs before? Are they valuable? Do they have some value? Counter clash is going to be pretty obvious, maybe. Let's see this again. Looks like some nastiness. I have a toothpick here. I do not clean my coins, but looks like some damage. Let me look at it under with my flush magnifier. Oh, I thought it was just some buildup of something, but it's maybe it's something underneath the lamination, maybe. I'll tell you what we can do. Chuck this on here. Turn on my side light. Check it out with the old side light. Looks like we got some damage like above the R coming across. I don't know what that is, if it's just a hunk of metal there, some sort of die chip or something. What do you guys think? It's something that's very stuck to the coin, but I don't know exactly what it is. If it's like an unknown like that, I'd probably call it some sort of a die chip. Now let's continue on. Look at the reverse of this. I love the scope. It's got two of these side lights on it. I just have one attached right now. This one I might put in my side bucket. Get some better eyes on it. Maybe look up some different things on it. Yeah, those Philly guys. I tell you, you got to look at a lot of Philadelphia coins because there's a lot of errors on them. Let's double check. Yeah, E Pluribus Unum, all reverse lettering, and the Memorial Building. I wish they had a picture of that. What I'm looking for. I would guess it's just like a extra imprint of the Memorial Building. Doesn't say which direction. Oh, never mind. I think it's in the columns. You can see lines in the columns. And we'll look at 1 cent on the bottom here. I apologize if I'm a little scattered, guys. I just came off of a 3-day fast. Just broke it this evening, so I was super stoked to have a bite of food in my belly. 83 Denver. Chuck it on the scale. It looks like it's a zinc copper plated sucker, though. Yes, sir. 2.5. 99 Denver. Yeah, Philadelphia should have minted a mint mark in all their coins because you know what? That would like quadruple the amount of double mint marks that we could look for. I've been going through this NGC coin site for a few weeks now. Like I said, I'm not super well versed in it, but there's like some that are D over D over D over D mint marks. I don't know how they do that. This one, I found 2 of these so far. I'm hoping this is the no FG or the floating roof on the reverse. Can we be so lucky to find a third one? They did mint over 4 billion of these coins, so no wonder why maybe they're a little more common. And the description of it is a weak. This is, I don't know if that's weak or just damaged. That's definitely much more clear than the other 2 I found in 1969. I'll probably still keep this one. This is not the floating roof. You can definitely see the line down right there. I will show you my floating roof. Is it roof or is it roof? Okay, so here's a 69 clear floating roof there. I used to say roof, that's weird. When did that happen? And then the designer's initials are non-existent. The No FG 1969 Denver, plus a floating roof. So I was pretty stoked to find that. Hopefully I don't actually chuck that in the bin now, in the old plastic cup, in the return bin. That is true. Denver, they have mint mark errors, and like that's it. There's a few different ones, but see you, Sean. Thanks for popping in tonight. I'm gonna try to get on tomorrow night as well, even if it's briefly. 2.583 Denver. Looking for a copper there. 0.13. Yeah, it's possible. It's over polishing. I don't know. It's going into flip. It's hard to make money on coins when you never sell them. You just keep buying them and hoarding them. Oh, 94 Denver. Nope, just a Philly. So Calvin, over polishing versus a weak or missing FG. What are we looking for in the differences there? Do you have any insight on that while we look at this 95 Denver for a DO? Okay, don't throw that one in the bin. That one's going on that side. Okay, 95 Denver DDO, doubling in God We Trust, Liberty, date, mint mark, everything. Lots of damage. Oh man, that finger's tweaking out, dude. Lots of damage. Alright, we got a few more in this roll here. Get through some things. 91 out of Denver. I was really hoping to find a wheatie tonight. Oh, here's a 2000 Philly. We are checking for a wham, but someone schmoozed this one hardcore. What in the heck? Is it covering up something good? Yeah, I found a 2000 wide AM. Check it out. Maybe. Might have to get the old toothpick out and try to scrape some of this crud off of here. Okay, over polishing or weak strike. Nice. Still keeping it. Appreciate the information on that one. I've learned some differences between. Oh man, this stuff is not coming off, guys. Ugh, this is nasty. Oh, it's gonna come off if it breaks my pointer. I do not clean my coins, just so you guys know. I do not crud off to see if I can find a 2000 wham. Unfortunately, this did not conceal a good error. 2021 out of Philadelphia, Shield Scent. '68 in Denver. Would you call that a wham? I mean, I wouldn't call it a wham. But I'm no expert. I will say that all night long. '68 Denver. There is D over D or DDR. Yeah, I was thinking there's I could fit like something really tiny there, but I think there's got to be a good space there. '68 Denver. We're looking for a D over D mint mark and a DDR. The D over D mint mark repunched to the east of the first impression, so we'd see some lines on the left side of that D. A wham is a wide AM, so the space in between the A and the M, there'd be a very distinct space. And a cam, on a 92 cam, a close AM, the A and the M are touching like the one we just saw. So 92, you're looking for a close AM. 98, 99, and 2000 Phillies, specifically looking for a wide AM. On the 92 is going to be either Philly or Denver. Or Calvin's explanation is really good too. Pick your poison. I'm going off with what I know about, so I appreciate people hopping in and mentioning things that they know. So we're looking for doubling visible on most of the lettering on the reverse. So I think it's something like, see, now my pointer's all broken. I'm a broken pointer. It's all mashed up with that schmooze from that last coin. This right here, this line, usually I attribute it to damage if I don't see any extra serif issues on neighboring letters. The E is a really good one to look at for lines through the branches of the E. I don't know what you call those branches, lines. I learned about true doubling versus machine doubling. Like, you can find coins with like a shadowish looking thing, but unless you have like split serifs or split corners, maybe it's not true doubling. Maybe it's machine doubling. Still really cool to find. I want to find one that's just like super clear, super distinct, super valuable. That would be super sweet. Be super duper. All right, we got two more coins for the night. 1964. '64 D over D. Looking at the mint mark on this guy. Hey, dear. I got one more coin after this. And that's a wrap. So repunch south of the first impression. So you'd see some lines up top and maybe some lines at the bottom, top of the bottom. If that makes sense. And 2004 Denver Memorial for a final coin. All right, thanks guys for hanging out. Hopefully you learned something. We didn't find anything really cool. I did find, I'll show you what I was talking about with machine doubling. This is my, if I can find out where the edge of this darn coin is. Oh, now it's out of focus too because it's taller. So this is my 1965 quarter. And I think this is machine doubling. That's all throughout America on the reverse. But the serifs aren't like split, which is kind of like a second-ish impression. This is the best example I found of anything error variety-wise. So I was calling this the DDR, but it might not be a true DDR. It might just be machine doubling, which I don't know if that qualifies as a DDR or not. You can see it goes all the way, the E, the T, the top of the A, the top of the T, top of the S. I guess it goes all the way. I didn't zoom in out this far. Starts at maybe the T in United. And then as you go over, it just gets more and more pronounced. So I don't know if that's true doubling or machine doubling. It's awesome. The true DDR FS 801 in 1965 quarter is like a $20 quarter. I estimate this quarter to be like shoot, I can't remember what I was grading it as in my head. Like a 40 or a 45 or something like that. It's a really nice quarter compared to other quarters I find in 1965. No, new socks. Yes, sir. All right, thanks for hanging out, guys. Hey, Robin, thanks for hopping on. I am done for the night. I will be back tomorrow night about 7:30, 8 o'clock Central. If you guys want to hop on, I'm more than happy to have you. You guys have a good night. Thanks, B. Waller. You too.